Welcome to Daryl's Little Corner. We'll be with you every Monday from 7 till 8. I'm glad you tuned in tonight. We have a very special episode because with me is Dr. Barbara McMillian. Look there, I looked it up. You're a doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, a doctor. Okay. Welcome to Daryl's Little Corner.
Thank you for having me. I
Tell me
appreciate
what
it.
kind of doctor.
Well, I am a doctor in the academic world. I have a doctorate of arts from the University of Mississippi in English.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
Yes, it is. I tell you, a lot of work goes into that.
I love school, so when I finished high school and went on to college, I enjoyed studying. I love being in the classroom, and so I knew that what I wanted to do was to continue my education. So I just kept going and kept going and kept going until I had achieved that goal, and it was a great experience.
Did your family think you were going to be a professional student?
Yes, most everyone did.
That's what I tell my granddaughter. I said, oh, honey, you never get doubt. She loves it.
Well, good for her.
She does. She
I
loves
hope it serves her well.
Oh, I think so. Who are your parents?
My parents are Clarence Childers and Mary Sue Coombs Childers. My mom was from the Blue Mountain area, and she passed away. So my stepmother, a lot of people around here would know my mother, Mary Sue, but my stepmother was Lillian Childers, who had a beauty shop here in Ripley for many years. Has done hair and taken care of a lot of ladies.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. You know,
Sweet lady.
when you work in a beauty shop, even if they don't come to your shop, they know of you.
That's right.
Everybody knows of you.
That's right.
That's true. Where'd you go to school?
I went to Faulkner all 12 years.
Look at there what Faulkner did. Yes.
My wonderful hometown of Faulkner, yes. And then from Faulkner to Northeast for 2 years. And then I attended Union University in Jackson, Tennessee. I finished there with a degree in English. Then I went to the University of Mississippi for my master's degree and for my doctorate, both in English.
What's the difference in a master and a doctor?
A master's degree, they are all graduate classes. A doctorate requires you to focus more specifically on a particular area of study. A doctorate of arts is a little bit different from a PhD. A PhD is very, very focused. It involves a great deal of research. The degree I have, a doctorate of arts, is a bit broader than that, in that I took courses in several disciplines in addition to English.
Oh. My granddaughter's going for a master.
Oh,
whatever that is.
good for her. In what field?
Psychology.
Well, that's
She's
good.
coming
She'll
to
do
straighten her grandmother out. That's what it is.
Well, I wish her much success.
Oh, I don't know. I like the way I am. Oh, yeah, she's going to straighten me out. She come talks all that college talk. I don't know what she's talking about. Are you married?
I am. I am married to Larry McMillian of Cleveland, Mississippi. He's the son of Joe Mansell and Nell Catherine McMillian. He lived in that area all his life until we met at Northeast, and so we've been married now for almost 31 years. We have one son, Sam. Sam is 16, and he will be a sophomore at New Albany High School this fall.
Oh, 16.
Yes.
That's a good age. Where do you work?
I work at Blue Mountain College, where I have the great privilege of serving as president. And I have been there. It will be 2 years, August 1st.
What do you do?
Well, I have a...
If I get called in the principal's office, you're it, huh?
Well, yes, yes. The carpet is where you come to there. We have a very busy schedule. Being president of a college on any campus is a very challenging, very busy responsibility. It involves working with faculty and staff and our board of trustees, It involves a great deal of planning, speaking opportunities, speaking about the vision of the college, working with our board, fundraising. All of those things are part of our president's responsibility, representing the college.
I did a little background, and I truly did not realize that Blue Mountain College had so much history.
Oh, indeed. Blue Mountain
Oh,
College
my.
is rich in history and tradition, yes.
Yes, I tell you what, it goes all the way back to 1873. I wrote it down because I knew I'd
Yes.
get it wrong.
Well, that means that we are just over 140 years
right.
old. So
That's
we
right.
celebrated our anniversary last September, September 12th, and we had a birthday party to recognize the
that date.
140-year history. But it is a place that is steeped in a great history. Our founder, Mark Perrin Lowry, had an amazing vision for a women's college. And he, by God's direction and grace and strength, was able to envision what turned out to be a wonderful school for women.
Yes.
And it is now a school that is co-educational. We went co-ed in 2005, so we're almost at the 10-year point for having both young men and young women on our campus as
that's
full-time students.
You know, I'm surprised that it stayed so very many years, just all women.
Well,
I'm surprised it did.
Let me think. I think we have about just over 7,000 graduates of the college, and so we do have a long history and a very, very strong and supportive alumni base of women who received an excellent education at Blue Mountain College. And so, but my predecessor, Dr. Coward, and the Board of Trustees had a vision to open that college up for young men to be a part of that experience, and so that has been a good thing. Of course, men had attended Blue Mountain College since the 50s.
Yes.
Men who were studying and called into the ministry had been a part of our college for a very long time, and I don't know a Blue Mountain College that does not include female students and male students who are called by God to fulfill His purpose in His kingdom. And so I'm very excited that we have a even broader base now, but that is definitely a very, very important part of our heritage.
Now, I read that Blue Mountain College is a Christian, specifically a Baptist institution.
It is.
All right, I'm not Baptist.
You can still come.
I know that's true because I did.
Great.
I did. I audited some classes.
Oh, really?
Back when my children were small. Actually, I audited Old Testament.
Okay.
And it was, he's passed away now, it was Dr. Travis.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Oh, I can't tell you how wonderful that teacher is.
Yes.
And I did that for a couple of semesters, and my money ran short, so I didn't get to do it again, but I sure did. Now, back in those days, I don't know if I do now, I didn't need the credit for anything, so they called it auditing. And you got a good price, and you got to learn it. I mean, that's all I
Absolutely.
wanted to do.
Well, you chose well, and you
Oh,
are
it was
among
fantastic.
you're
was
among a very
fantastic.
blessed group that had the opportunity to study with Dr. Travis.
Oh, he was fantastic. He, more than teaching you facts, he taught you how to study. You know, how to get into studying.
Yes.
And I didn't realize I didn't know how, and I sure didn't. You have really spread out at Blue Mountain. Things are changing. They're changing fast. You're into sports now, aren't you?
Most definitely. We are into sports. We are building a sportsplex that will enable us to play baseball and softball on campus. Right now, our baseball and softball teams play at the Sportsplex in New Albany, and we're thankful for that opportunity. But we're looking forward to one day being able to play ball at home. But we have obviously men's baseball, we have softball, we have men's and women's basketball, golf, and we also have men's and women's cross country. So we have a whole host of athletes on our campus. They are scholar athletes. We are proud to say that they are dedicated to the classroom and to the competition on the field. We are brand new members of a new conference. We had been members of the Trans-South Athletic Conference for many years, and we now are members of the Southern States Athletic Conference, which is a large conference, 16, 18 teams or so, all across the South, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana. It has really put us in a new level of competition to be with some schools that are considerably larger than we are, some that are more comparable to Blue Mountain. But it has, it's a good thing to raise the bar of competition, and it has certainly done that. But I would love for your viewers to know that they can come out to Blue Mountain College and see a great basketball game during the season. We'd love to have folks come on campus. It's exciting to watch collegiate level play right here in Tippah County.
Well, and I've been, sometimes there'd be speakers and dramas and all kind of things going on at Blue Mountain. It's always something going on there.
You are right. There's something for everyone. The sports fan can get his or her fill, but music and theater are certainly great options. We have an outstanding choral program. Love to have all of your viewers come out and hear our chorale perform. They do a marvelous job. Our theater program is outstanding, and we have 2 major productions each year, one in the fall, one in the spring. This past spring we did The Miracle Worker, and it was so well done. And last fall, in the fall, we typically do a musical, and we did Annie, and it was great.
I bet.
The year before that we did The Sound of Music. The opportunity to see theater performed at that level is just a great one, and I would certainly encourage folks to come out and check it out.
Tell us what advantage a student has in attending Blue Mountain instead of, say, well, it's different kind of college than Northeast, isn't it?
It is.
Because some students go for 2 years there and then they transfer.
Correct.
But tell us what the advantages are.
Well, the advantages are 2 primarily. There is the advantage of we are a small, private liberal arts school, which means that our professors know our students. You know, we have this past semester we had 518 students enrolled. And the students know the professors know the students. They're not just numbers on, and the professors are able to get to know the students. They mentor them. They are there to encourage and support them. They're very challenging. Blue Mountain College is an academically excellent school. The professors are going to set very high standards, but they're also going to be there to help those students. If a student has a question, they don't have to wonder, can I go to my professor? Can I get an answer to this? Will he or she explain something that I'm not getting in class? That is going to happen. They have that kind of opportunity. And then second, I think what distinguishes Blue Mountain certainly is that we are a faith-based institution, that we want to pursue a Christ-centered educational experience for our students. And we really want students in North Mississippi and across the Mid-South to know that Blue Mountain College is an excellent choice if they're looking for a place where they will learn and be encouraged to think Christianly about what they're studying.
Do you check to see if people are actually succeeding in these careers, or whether they're still working, say, 5 years later?
We have one of the advantages, I suppose, of being a smaller institution is that we're able to stay in touch with our graduates fairly readily through more formal means such as surveys, but certainly through informal means such as simple contact between a department chair or a faculty member and a graduate. So we are, I think, fairly well informed about where they are and how they're doing. And Blue Mountain students are able to find employment without too many challenges these days. Certainly we graduate a number of students in education, and I often when I'm in a group I will ask how many people in the room attended Blue Mountain College, how many people graduated from Blue Mountain College, how many people were taught by someone who was a graduate of Blue Mountain College, and very often a number of hands will go up. So we feel that is one of our strongest contributions to this community, is that we are here to prepare students in many vocations, but certainly we have a number of students in education, and we have a number of students who are, as I mentioned before, called into the ministry. And we feel very strongly that we make a contribution to this community through those two channels as well as through many others. We have some new programs. We have a program in online business administration for the student who can't come on campus to be in class. They can study at Blue Mountain virtually through through technology. We have an online program in psychology.
This online, if you're taking classes online and it's you and your computer and good luck, and you don't understand the lesson, what do you do?
Well, they can call our help desk. They can call and talk with someone in our IT department who can either direct them to the resource that they will need for assistance, or solve the problem directly if it's within their means to do so. So we certainly understand it is a bit challenging.
To me. Sounds scary.
It could be. So we know how important it would be to have some resources to assist in that process.
Have you ever taken classes online?
I have never taken a class online. I have taught a class online, but I've never taken one. So I can see why it would be
sounds scary to
challenging.
me.
It very well could be. What's interesting about that is there are some students who really thrive more in the online environment than they do in the face-to-face environment, because they're typically the student who maybe is at the back of the classroom, maybe is not as engaged in the face-to-face setting, but for some reason when they're safe at home at their computer, they feel more confident in their ability to engage through a chat or through an online discussion than they would be if they were actually in the classroom. So it's a good fit for some.
I guess some kids are shy, embarrassed, and if you don't have that outgoing personality, I can see that. And we live in the day and age of electronics.
Well, this is true.
We really do. Everything's electronic.
This is true.
But I just wondered about that. It seemed like to me, I would feel more, but I'm an outgoing person. I'd feel more comfortable to go to class and meet that teacher face to face and get comfortable and know what's expected of me.
I think there are many folks who
just different people.
Absolutely. So we're trying to meet different needs, and there are certainly many folks who would prefer, as you would, that face-to-face experience.
It just seems secure to me.
Yes.
But these days, a lot of people are secure with that keyboard. Now they just are.
Well, the generation of students that we work with now, they don't know a different world.
No.
They have grown up with technology.
That's
For
right.
them, this is normal.
Well, that's
So-
right. That's right. I know another granddaughter came in. She was in high school. And she came in and she said, "Oh, you got a calculator?" And I said, "Yeah." Once she said, "I need to do my math." And I said, "We don't do a calculator." You got to add, subtract. Well, the next day, she came in with one. The teacher gave it to her. I just don't get that. But, you know, that's different than my age. In our day, you learned 2 and 2 was 4. And now, you know, they learn that. Well, they really do learn that, too. But, you know, if you're in a peach, you just mash a button.
Well, that is certainly,
But it's
I
important.
witnessed that also.
It's important
Yes.
that they learn computers. You know, when it first started, I don't like change. I'm just old fogey, and I don't like change. And I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life, buying computers for the schools. But truly, when I was working at a grocery store, before I married my husband, I worked at a grocery store. I had to check in and out on a computer. Everything is computer. And these young people cannot work and survive if they don't know it. They got to do it. And it's a different world. Of course, I like my world. I grew up in Mayberry, USA, and I liked it.
It was a good place.
But it's not anymore. It doesn't exist. Tell me what courses are offered. You have art courses, because I interviewed somebody one time and showed her artwork, and she attended Blue Mountain.
We do have art courses. Mr. Bill Dowdy is an instructor at Blue Mountain College, and I cannot tell you how many years Mr. Dowdy has been at Blue Mountain, but quite a few, and he is an outstanding artist. I have some of his artwork in my home. He is amazingly talented in that he can create his art can come in many different styles. And so if you say to him, I kind of like this impressionist look, can you do that? Well, he can do that. So our students have the opportunity to study with him, and we'd invite anyone who'd like to come to campus. A lot of his work is on display over in our Fine Arts building on Garrett, where our theater is, so you can see some of his work on display there. But he has a very fine talent.
And you turn out teachers.
Teachers, teachers, business administration majors. Of course, we have history, biblical studies.
Business administration. What can you do with that if you finish it? What kind of work?
Well, yeah, I think it affords a world of options, really. You can go into management, perhaps accounting, depending on what you have studied and what your graduate work might require of you. Most of our students, I think, who are in some business-related field are looking toward some area of management or some type of business ownership, entrepreneurship. It prepares students to serve well as leaders in a host of roles, but we are seeing that is becoming one of our more popular majors. So we're excited about that. We have a new major that will begin this fall pending our accreditation review process. We are proposing a major in criminal justice. So we're very excited about that.
Oh, that would be great.
That is a very popular major these days on a lot of college campuses. So we feel like it will pique the interest of a number of students who are interested in some field related to law enforcement, working in some area of relates to criminal justice, which could be a rather wide range of things. But we've had a number of inquiries about it, so we're looking forward to making that possible.
You know, years ago, it was you go in, fill out an application, and then they train you to do what you need to do after you're hired. But now, if you don't have that education, you don't get hired.
Well, certainly higher education is critical. I think that's one of the advantages of a liberal arts education, that it is the type of education that students are exposed to a broad base of subjects. Every student takes a series of core subjects before they take their major work. And that exposure to a not just depth in one area, but breadth, really prepares students to be flexible. I don't remember exactly the statistics now, but studies show that these days an individual can expect to change jobs several times throughout their career. Flexibility is critical, and a liberal arts education prepares a student to think critically in a variety of ways. So they're more prepared to move from employment in one area to another area because they've got this base that prepares them to adapt to a different area.
Okay, if you took this criminal justice, you could be a policeman, or what?
Any area related to, I would say, somewhat related to social work. Now, it's not the same as social work, but it would prepare someone to be in different types of law enforcement, not just investigative work. Thank you. That's what I was looking for there.
Came to my head.
Well, and I think part of the popularity of it is perhaps even driven by the media, television. There are so many options now of television that focus on areas related to law enforcement. So that's a little bit of what has driven the popularity of that field. But there's also good employment out there. That we think
there's some areas of work that it is so difficult and so far to go get the training till we're running out of workers. I mean, like people that embalm.
Wow.
I think there's only one. Yeah, he does Corinth, he does Ripley, he does, now I believe there's somebody at New Albany, but he does all of them. Because they're running out. We're all getting old, and and I don't know, seem like to me it's so difficult to get the training. So we really need to pick up some way to train people to do the work that's available.
Well, we do need to think.
Not that everybody wants to be an embalmer,
Well,
no, but that was the one that came to my mind.
Well, you make a very good point that we need to think carefully about what the needs are going to be of our immediate community and our surrounding community. I should mention, oftentimes I get this question, a prospective student will say, I really want to be in a health-related field. I want to be a nurse. I want to be some type of lab technician or radiologist. And so I can't go to Blue Mountain. I said, well, yes, you can come to Blue Mountain because we have partnerships with other institutions. We partner with Union University in Jackson, Tennessee, and with Baptist College of Health Sciences in the Memphis area to offer health education. So a student can get their base studies at Blue Mountain College and then go on to one of those two institutions and get a degree in nursing. So they have a dual degree from both Blue Mountain and one of those two institutions. So we're very pleased to make folks aware of that because we think that's a service to the community.
It is. Now, there'll always be
there will
nurses
always be
and
health.
doctors.
Yes.
And, you got to have
the
that.
need in that area will only grow, and so we feel like that's a good example of what you're talking about.
Yeah, we've got to get people educated to do what's available.
That's right.
If you go to school and you study something and there's no jobs, that's just a waste. And
I think students have to think carefully too about what's available in their community, what will there be for them when they finish.
That's right.
They also need to think about if there is an area that they're passionate about, that maybe there's not a demand in this immediate area. Are they willing to move and go other places?
That's right.
Well, that could be necessary. Of course, we hope that, and this is true for us, that most of our students are from this surrounding area, and then they invest by coming back into this community.
Well, that's the problem when they study and they have to move way off. Parents don't want to see their kids
That's hard to do.
relocate. We don't. We don't. I'm not the only one. Y'all don't want your grandkids to move off. I don't either.
We like to keep them close.
We do, and we feel like when they get way off somewhere, if they get in trouble, they're too far away for us to help, you know. And it might be that mine are too far away for me to interfere, but whatever. But I'm going to do it anyway.
Well,
Day and age of cell phones, yes, gets that child in
can't
trouble.
get away from it.
No, they can't run or hide. What's an honor society?
An honor society could be one of several different groups. It is an organization that typically is open for membership for students who have achieved a certain grade point average or meet certain requirements to be in that honor society. I'll give you an example. Sigma Tau Delta is the English honor society on the campus of Blue Mountain College. It is open to students who meet a certain GPA in English, who have completed a certain number of courses in English, and obviously are very interested in the study of literature and composition. And so that there are other societies on our campus that correspond to other areas of study.
Do you have sororities and fraternities and that kind of stuff?
We don't call them sororities and fraternities. We have some societies on our campus. We have societies both for men and for women. They are different from sororities and fraternities. On a typical campus, a student goes through a period called rush, where they are recruited to be in a sorority or a fraternity, and they have to be, if you will, selected by a particular group. But at Blue Mountain College, every student has the opportunity to be in the society of his or her choice. Everybody fits someplace, and we feel that is very, very important. It is, we are seeking a sense of community, and we don't want a system where students feel like they are not comfortable or they weren't appropriate for this club or for that club. There's a place for each of our students to fit in at Blue Mountain College. And they're very active. They do service projects. They do lots of fun things. But they also serve.
Do they have that hazing that we used to hear about?
No.
Oh, that is cruelty.
No,
yes.
no,
Good.
that we would not tolerate hazing.
They have some kind of induction ceremony.
There is a type of initiation, a ceremony, yes.
But nothing cruel.
No, ma'am.
Good. Are the classes large?
No, the class size at Blue Mountain, the student-teacher ratio is typically about 14 to 1, 14 students for every professor. Of course, classes overall may vary. They're not all just like that, but overall that is the expectation. And that's one of the things I think that distinguishes us also. It makes us different, that a fairly small class size ensures that a student and a professor are able to connect.
Yes.
And the student feels like he's getting, personal attention when needed.
It's you think by the time they get to college, but even a college student, you sometimes feel like you're running into a wall. You just don't know what to do next, and really need counseling. This seemed like if it's smaller, that teacher could pick up on that faster.
I think that's true. That is certainly the nature, I think, particularly of a Christian college campus, that there is a sense of compassion and insight and encouragement that comes from the professor, that I think is just natural, if you will, for the setting that we're in, because each of those professors they feel a calling. They feel that God has gifted them to do what they are doing in that classroom, that He's given them the ability, and they want to see those students thrive. They want to see them grow and be encouraged. And not everyone is has the credentials to be a counselor, but that doesn't prevent a professor from being a caring and encouraging individual.
That's right. And when you're in college, I know I've experienced with my granddaughter, that counselor talks to her, and she realizes that he knows what he's talking about. And I know she changed her major a time or two, and we said, "Oh, Megan, honey, you're just going to be a professional student. Forget it." And then they said, "Oh, she's finished her core classes." Well, not knowing anything about college, I said, "Well, what can you do? What kind of a job?" "Oh, nothing." I said, "Oh, child," and I felt like she wasn't getting the right counseling. But what it is, you've got to be patient.
That's right.
And I'm not. She graduated this year from MUW. And we'll go on to, in fact, I think this year she's going to take online. But, we're beginning to see where she's going. At first, when she started, seemed like she wasn't going anywhere. Is that typical?
That is very typical, yes. And
well, parents just want to pull the plug, I'm telling you.
I fully understand, but the first 2 years, students are getting their core. They're all taking basically the
what is
same
core?
thing. Well, it's a set of classes that we feel in a liberal arts education. That means that students need to have a foundation in certain subjects. Whatever they decide to major in, they need to have an education that is founded on certain things such as English and history and communication and the sciences. And so they take, there are courses within those disciplines that they may choose from, but they basically take courses that represent a select group of areas. And then when they've completed that core, they're ready then, if you will, to go on and take their courses in their major. And a lot of times students will come to a college, our college, any college, and they'll say, "I don't know what I want to major in." And they'll be so anxious about that, and mom and dad might be anxious about it
when
too.
You're putting all this money out, yeah.
Yes, that is very understandable, but that is not unusual at all because every student is taking this set of core classes. They've got some time to figure out what that major is going to be. So they're not wasting their time in this setting because they've got that first year where they're taking freshman level courses, and then they're building on those in sophomore level core classes and other core classes. And during that time, ideally, they will be developing an interest in an area, and then they will say, "Okay, now I'm going to major in biology, or I'm going to major in psychology." So they haven't lost time at all. They were taking those classes anyway. They're really just kind of getting their feet on the ground and getting a good foundation so that they're ready to excel in those classes.
Well, it turned out that way for the granddaughter. She decided what she wanted to do. She worked toward it. By the time she straightens her grandmother out, she wants to be a college professor in psychology. So, and I just really feel bad that I didn't support her in, it just didn't make sense to me. So I wanted to be sure and bring this out for other parents and grandparents where they, wouldn't fall into it like I did. Thinking me fell into, I can do it.
Well, she was just getting well prepared.
And she's doing well.
Good.
She's doing
Glad
well.
to hear that.
Oh, if a child gets behind in their studies, now these classes are expensive. Is there any help to help them? say through sickness, or I mean, not if they start playing hooky and don't show up and don't care, but through sickness or maybe not understanding or just can't. Is there any help? Any kind of?
Well, there can be tutoring for students. We have a unit on our campus called the CAL, a Center for the Advancement of Learning, where students can go and get some additional assistance. They can work with their professors. As I said, we're a small community, so the opportunity to go to a professor after class and say, I really need some additional help is there. And certainly there are always going to be circumstances where, let's say, a student is sick or in some type of accident and something happens that prohibits them from attending class as they should. And, that again is, I think, a distinctive of our type of campus where we're going to know about those things.
Yes.
And do everything we can to work with a student within reason to see that they can keep up and do their best. I'm sure that there are indeed many stories of professors who have gone above and beyond the call of duty to assist a student who perhaps has been in some type of accident, has had some extended illness, and our professors really work very hard to make it possible for that student to complete his or her work. Sometimes things happen and a student has to say, I may not be able to finish this semester. I may have to take some time away. But we hope then that they are able to come back and pick up where they left off and be successful.
What about this financial? College is high. Now, I know my daughter figured it up, and the granddaughter's education costs more than her house. Now, is there any help for these students?
There's certainly many avenues of assistance. There are grants and loans that can be achieved that are outside of the college itself, so that any student in any educational setting can pursue that type of financial assistance. There are scholarships that can be awarded by the college. Blue Mountain College is very blessed. We have a very fine system of endowed scholarships that individuals in our community and alumni from all across the nation have given funds so that scholarships can be named after someone that they want to honor, and then that scholarship goes to help a student who maybe has a financial need, or maybe it's a student who has excelled and is to be rewarded for their academic achievements. So there really are a host of ways in which students can find the financing that they need for a college education. Blue Mountain College, I think one of the misconceptions about particularly Blue Mountain is we often hear, well, that's a very expensive place to attend, and certainly private education is not inexpensive.
Yeah.
However, I encourage students to really do your homework and look at what it would cost you to go to other places, even within our state. And I think you'll find that we are very, very reasonably priced, even among the least expensive of the private institutions, and even more comparable to the public institutions.
You offer classes at convenient times, don't you?
We certainly try to offer classes at times that will make our education accessible to a lot of students. There are classes that are hybrid in nature, that they meet sometimes online and sometimes face-to-face, at times when working adults are able to meet. We actually have a partnership with Northeast now to offer courses at their Corinth campus. And we're going to be offering those at times when working adults, they have very busy schedules. They can't come to 9 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes. So
That's
we
right.
are seeking to expand those opportunities.
When I came at night.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to work.
That's what you have to do, exactly.
And if you're not college age, I wasn't college age either. If you're not going to college, I promise you, drive up, park close to the sign, and sit there. The chimes are worth the trip.
They are beautiful.
Love it. Love the chimes.
Yes, so beautiful.
Blue Mountain College in Blue Mountain, Mississippi. It's right in the center of town, isn't it?
Indeed.
Beautiful, beautiful. And expanding.
Definitely growing.
We are plumb out of time. I appreciate you coming.
Well,
really
I
do.
enjoyed it very much. Thank you for having me.
And if you've got a child, a grandchild, or you intend to go back to school, consider Blue Mountain. Consider Blue
I
Mountain.
hope you will. Thank you.
We've enjoyed this hour together. Don't forget the Jeter Family Program, Saturday night at 7 o'clock. I do hope you'll tune us in again next Monday at 7 for Daryl's Little Corner. May God bless.